Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Going to be finishing the Kobain build today, hopefully. I know this build has taken me forever to get done. It's been a combination of things. I got laser eye surgery, missing parts here and there, waiting for that, maybe just being a little bit lazy, but I really want to get this done. It's taken way too long. I got some things I want to do with this bike and we need to get it built. So let's go at it today, hopefully get it finished. The one big thing that's been kind of really stressing me out about this build is doing the internal cable routing. Never had to really deal with that before, and that was kind of stressing me out, so I wanted to make sure I had the right tools to get this job done. Now I looked at the Park Tool internal cable routing kit, and it seems pretty expensive for what it is. So I picked up this kit here. If you can focus, I don't know if the camera will focus on that there, get in front of my face. I got this kit on Amazon for less than $20, and it seems to be very similar to the Park Tool kit. So let's take a look at what this kit has and how it's going to help us get the cable routing done on the Kobain, and that should be the big step forward. We get the cable routing done and we should get the rest of this put together pretty quickly. So this is the Zito internal cable routing tool. So what this has in it, if I open it up here, so it's got this magnet tool with a magnet on the end here and here. So this will basically attach to this cable and pull it through the frame of the bike. It also has a couple cool little attachments inside here. To attach to like hydraulic brake lines, your standard cables. I'll focus on there, and so on. It has this cool, so it also has a magnet on the end of here. This is the one we'll kind of follow along the frame to guide the cable through. It also has this little thing you can kind of stick into the cable routing holes and kind of fish the wire out. So this is the kit that's hopefully going to make this a lot easier. I also did pick up some of this, I think it's Jaguar. They make this internal cable housing shielding sheath, I guess. So I'm going to try running this over the cable as well to quiet it inside the frame. So on the Kobain, it does have internal routing for the rear brake, rear shift cable, of course, and it also has internal routing for the dropper post that it comes down to about here on the frame and it goes back in to the frame about here. So I think first I'm going to start with the rear brake, and again, so it's going to come through this bigger hole here on the frame, and it comes down out the bottom of the frame just before the bottom bracket. I'll show here so you can see it comes down the frame and the cables are going to come out here. So one for the rear brake coming over here to the rear brake, and then this side for the shift cable. So hopefully that's fairly easy. So I think with the rear brake, I'm going to start at the back of the bike, hook the brake up and feed the cable up through that way. So these are the brakes that came off the Roscoe. They're the Shimano XT brakes. So I have the rear brake here. I've already taken the lever off. I am going to have to cut the end of the brake line off there in order to fit it through the frame. So I had to make sure I had a new olive and barb, and that was one of the things I was waiting for to come in. So I'm going to go ahead, cut this off, and we will probably attach the brake to the frame and then route the cable through and hope it's long enough. Should be, because it came off an extra large. The Roscoe was an extra large, this is an extra large, so I'm hoping just trimming that little bit of hose off the end of this cable will be fine. So I am going to be running the same 160 millimeter rotor in the rear and 180 in the front, same as I had on the Roscoe. So there are cable guides along the frame on this. Maybe I just want to zip tie these in place right now. just so they're not moving around on me. All right, so that'll be good for now. I can trim this up later. So what I think I am gonna do is measure how long of this Jaguar sheathing I'm gonna need to feed up through here. And then I'm gonna put it over the brake line. So I'm gonna want approximately that much of it. So I'm just gonna cut that off there. Gonna go ahead and just put this over top of the cable. So for doing a hydraulic brake hose, we just use this adapter that they have just kind of shoved down into there, and we just attach this piece onto it. It just screws into that adapter that we put into the brake line. And then that's highly magnetized. That'll attach to this piece, or to this one. We can guide it through the frame. So let's go ahead and start routing it through there. All right, so I can hear it attached to there. We'll say here's a tip to see if this little magnet stays attached to the frame, you know that's kind of where the end of that is. This is why I hesitated or was so lazy about doing this. I know this is going to be tedious as heck to get this. All right, here we go, boys and girls. It's coming out. All right, let's get it out. There we go. Sweet. I thought I was going to lose my mind there. Okay, so we got the cable out through the frame. This little tool definitely came in handy. It still took a fair amount of time, but doing it without that would have been insane. So let's double check, see if the brake line is long enough. And it's a little bit short. Damn it. Okay, so the brake cable was too short. Kind of sucks because again, this video is going to get delayed with me making it, but I'll have to order one or get another longer one. So I'm going to go ahead and run the shift cable through. Should be fairly the same idea. Did pick up a brand new shift cable. Probably figured it was a good time to replace the cable while I'm at this. So with this, with the shift cable, since I'm going from the top down to the bottom, it should be a lot easier. I should just be able to feed it through here, and it should hopefully just come out the bottom here. All right, there it is right there. All right, so I got it out there, the bottom of that, so that's going to come over here. So now that I got that routed through, I can put the cable through, although let's figure out where this needs to go first. So I just got the cable here, and I'm just trying to get an idea of how long that should be. Don't want it crazy long, but I want it some room to move. In there. It's probably about like that. Should be good. So we'll cut that. Now we'll go ahead and put the shift cable back through again. And through the housing. So we have the shifter cable through, the screw back on the shifter there. So what I did forget to do was run the this up through here for the shift cable. So again, I'm going to cut this approximately the length I need. And I'm just going to take this cable off here, run it up over top of it and up inside of the tube there. So we got that in there. Go ahead and just tighten this up for now, but I won't cut anything off until later. Okay, so that's the shift cable in there now. So now we'll deal with the dropper. So we're using the PNW Bachelor dropper that was on the Roscoe. So that's going to be in here, but let me get the cable first for that. All right, so we got the routing through there now. So now hopefully we can just shove this up through this next hole and up through there. It's kind of an odd setup for this bike with this routing cable or dropper cable like that, but that is what it is. We'll get that up there so we can attach it to the dropper. There we go. So I can pull this cable out of there now, the guide cable. So now we can actually feed the cable, the actual dropper cable, down through the housing. Tricky part now, I gotta pull this out and slide this down. Like so. All right. So probably have to fine tune that once I get the seat on there and the bike on the ground. But we got the dropper installed, the cable routed through the frame. The front brake on, that was pretty straightforward. So now we can go ahead and I think start putting the rest of the bike together. Again, I'm gonna have to wait for a rear brake cable. So let's just put it in time lapse and get the rest of this put together. Hey guys, I'm back. I got the brake line, got it from Two Wheels in London. Gonna put that on the Kobain, get it all ready to go. You already saw how I routed it before, so I'm just gonna put this on time lapse, get the brake line on, bled, and then we'll take a look at the bike completely ready to go. So we're on the road with the Kobain. It's need to actually get riding this thing. Getting a little bit of a rub going on the tire, I think. I'm going to need to bleed the rear brake a little bit better. It's working, but barely. And it is cold out here, so let's just go find a spot and do a little bit of a bike check on this. These 3.0 wide tires are pretty serious. All right, let's just maybe do this right here. Bike check on it. It's got the SR Sun Tour Aeron 35 fork at 140 millimeter. Terrain tires, 27.5 by 3.0, super beefy tires. XT brakes, same as the Roscoe that I had. 180 on the front, 160 on the rear. Running the PNW Range handlebars. Fun MTB stem, 50 millimeters. PNW dropper lever, loam lever, and grips. Got the custom Toogy Howser stem cap on there, of course. Fun MTB pedals, SLX drivetrain, same as the Roscoe. I got a Sunrace 11 to 46 rear cassette, 11 speed. Bachelor dropper post. Chromag Lynx saddle. So there's the bike there, guys. It is freezing out here. It's about 0 degrees Celsius out here today. But we got the Kobain built finally. And it's nice to actually finally get riding it. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment on the rear brake. It's still a little bit spongy. Have to bleed that a little bit better. But it's nice to be riding it. Some chunky 3.0 wide tires on there. Can't wait to actually get this out on a trail and ride it soon. So guys, thanks for watching the video. I know it was kind of long and convoluted with having to pause and go get our new rear brake line. Took a little bit longer to get this bike built than I wanted, but thank you for sticking to the end of the video. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe in the bottom corner. Really appreciate it. And as always, keep your feet on the pedals.
Oh, shut your face, Toogy Howser.